Hi everyone, welcome to week 10. A couple things happening this week. We have some really nice weather in the forecast. I hear, or they're predicting that it's going to be in the mid to high 70s, which is mind-blowing. And then you have this week the Exam 2 capstone project for the intermediate level of Microsoft Excel. And that's all you have this week. So light week before we head into spring break. And the week after is going to be spring break, March 23rd through 27th. Don't show up because nobody's going to be here unless you want to come on campus and have a picnic or enjoy the flowers that are come up or things like that. But most of us are going to be gone the week of spring break. So what's happening this week is you're doing a capstone project just similar to the first capstone project you did, or exam 1, except this capstone project is over modules 4 through 7. So it's project 1A, which means that it is built and designed like all of the other 1 projects that we had for modules 4 through 7. So this very similar things are happening in this capstone project that you did in projects 4, 5, 6, and 7. Just some different information, some different numbers and things like that. So module 6 was a hard module for a lot of you. And so I would recommend that you go back through your instructions for all the modules and just make some notes and references to things to help you know what's happening. So in module 6 we had quite a few things going on. We converted some data into tables. We did some lookup functions. We did some conditional formatting with symbols. And we did some structured references. And so there is a step in here where you are asked to create a structured reference. And just remember, structured references is just some text that is built in the formula or function that you're putting together, and that shows up in the formula bar. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. And you're not typing the headers in or anything like that. For example, everything in square brackets, that's what's going to show up in this particular function, the AND function, but you're not typing it in. So as you click on these cells, so in G2, enter a formula with the AND function to display true if project type. So project type is the column. So once you convert the data into a table, it gives those tables headers, they make them structured references. And so make sure you reference your notes. If you really struggled with this, reference your notes from module 6, reference the project 1 project, and just kind of refresh on what you did to help walk you through this. And then anywhere else where it gives you a range, specific range, make sure you're typing in that specific range. You are going to do an amortization schedule, and so you're going to have some cell names that you're going to have to put in. So right here you've got these, you've got the rate, you've got terms and months, you've got loans. Those should be showing up in the functions that you're doing for the amortization schedule. And so this is what your project is going to be like. So you've got multiple, so remember the module where we did multiple worksheets that all look the same? You're going to have some of that. Okay, then you remember where we did some forecasting of numbers in that particular module? You're going to have some of that. That's what's happening over here on the right. This is the dashboard. So remember, we feed in with 3D references. And that's 3D references referencing these sheets. So just remember how you group sheets and how you select data on multiple sheets. You're going to have some charts. You're going to extract some information like we did in the last module. You're going to have, this looks very similar to one of the projects we did, where you're going to have, this is the AND function, and this is a structured reference I was talking about. And I believe there's only one step in the whole project that has you do a structured reference. And so as you click on that cell for the project type over here, that's where we get this name on. So you're not typing this in. If you remember in the project we did in module 6, you were just selecting the cells that are part of this function, and then it gives them the header names of this particular table. So there's a lot happening. This is where you're going to extract some data here. You're going to do a V lookup over here on the right. This is actually an X lookup. Take that back. We're not doing V lookups, we're doing X lookups. And so you're going to have some of those. This is what we call a D count, but if you follow the instructions, it will walk you through. The key is to make sure that you're using structured references where structured references are asked for, using cell range references, so A2 colon B3, where those are asked for, and the instructions gives you all that. It's just sometimes it's hard to understand what exactly the instructions want sometimes. And so if you get stuck on the instructions, don't hesitate to reach out to me to get a clarification on what exactly you're supposed to do. You're going to have a sheet that does some subtotaling like we did in the last module before we got here, and then this is the amortization schedule. So remember, we have in an amortization schedule some names of cell references in here. So we've got cells that are given specific names, and then we're going to calculate this varying rates and terms, and then you're going to do some calculations over here and use the payment function and determine. You're going to do some text as well, like we did in the very last module, and that's what's happening. So you've probably noticed this is very similar to what we did in all the Project 1 assignments. So use those as your guide, and you have all week to work on it. So hope you have a great week. Good luck working on everything. Once you're done with the project or the exam, enjoy your spring break. Get some rest if you can. Hopefully you're not working too much. Get some sunshine. Come back, and then we've got just a handful of weeks left until the end of the semester, and then summer will be here. So have a great week. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to help you in any way I can. Talk to you later. Take care.